USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at usaa.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Close your eyes, exhale, feel your body relax, and let go of whatever you're carrying today.
Well, I'm letting go of the worry that I wouldn't get my new contacts in time for this class. I got them delivered free from 1-800-CONTACTS. Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
And breathe.
Oh, sorry. I almost couldn't breathe when I saw the discount they gave me on my first order. Oh, sorry. Namaste.
Visit 1-800-CONTACTS.com today to save on your first order.
1-800-CONTACTS.
On WhatsApp, no one can see or hear your personal messages. Whether it's a voice call, message, or sending a password. To WhatsApp, it's all just this. So whether you're sharing the streaming password in the family chat or trading those late-night voice messages that could basically become a podcast, your personal messages stay between you, your friends, and your family. No one else. Not even us. WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone.
This series contains adult language and descriptions of graphic violence throughout. Listener discretion is advised.
3, 2, 1. Hello, Murder Chronicles Nation, and welcome back to another bonus episode of the Murder Chronicles. My name is Branden. I produce the show, and I am joined by the great Carolyn Osorio, who none of us deserve, but yet we get her genius every week in a new episode. So we'll take what we can get. Hello, Carolyn. Wonderful to see you again.
Hello, Branden. Wonderful to see you. See you too.
Did you have a good week?
Had a great week. Yeah. How about you? I mean, honestly, like, do we ever really say if we had a good week or not? When people ask you, do you have a good week? Do you ever really say, no, I had a shitty week, blah, 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 blah. Like, you know?
Okay, that's a great question.
You probably would, but...
It's a great question. And so it depends on my mood. If it's someone who I really don't give a shit about, like, I'll be honest with them and say, no, my fucking week sucked, leave me alone, right? If it's someone that I care if they like me, I'll front and say, fucking awesome. I've never been better than I am right now. Okay, everything's so great. Okay, because there's...
Hashtag live life love.
Yeah, because there's ego involved, and and I want people to like me as much as the next person sometimes, I guess. But generally, as I've gotten older, the number of like people that I spend significant amount of time with has shrunken significantly. Right, I have like 2 like good friends. I have like 3 or 4 good like work friends, and then my wife, my kids, and my immediate, like in-laws that live across the street. So, those are all people, to your question, that I'm 100% honest with. If I'm having a good week, I tell them. If I'm having a bad week, I think, I just tell them. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to know because, I mean, do people really want to know? I mean, really, they don't. I don't want to.
No, I don't.
Right.
I don't. And and you're right. And you're making me realize something that the listeners probably don't give a shit either. So it's really a placeholder question. Hey, did you have a good week? Yeah. When I could have something actually better to ask. So I could say like, I don't know. What would you rather I ask you instead?
No, I think it's a great question. Mm-hmm. And people ask it all the time. And it's kind of like, whether I'm always like, yeah, I had a great week.
Yeah, well, where I grew up, it's the shorthand version of it, or the more immediate version of it is, how you doing?
How you doing?
Right? How you doing? And no, and it's not what they mean. It's a greeting. It's like, it's hello, right? How's it going? How you doing? Right.
Yeah, that's how I take it. Like, you really don't want to know.
Yeah. So I'll just say, how's it going? I'll say, how's it going from now on? All right, great. Unless
it wasn't a criticism. It was more just like that question. Like, when
it's a big question.
I know it is. And sometimes you really want to, you fall for it because somebody says it and they're like, how are you doing? And you're like, blah, 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 right? And you tell them and you tell, like they don't care at all how you're doing, right?
And also because we talk during the week. It's not like we have radio silence from, Monday to Monday. Like I talk to you. So I'll know if things aren't going well. So it's more of a placeholder, and I should have a better I'll surprise you next week with a completely fucking random question.
I'm going to put music to it, whatever it is. Like your little music. You were probably so proud of yourself from last week.
The smooth jazz.
Sound like I was like at the Sands.
That's what I was going
for. Hit, target achieved. I was like, wow, okay.
That's what I was going for. I mean, I wanted to get people in the swinging kind of mood, Yeah, this is a sex show. Welcome to Carolyn's Lounge.
I know. I was actually
swingers only.
I listened to that like 2 days ago. I was on a jog, and all of a sudden I'm hearing this tap, tap, tap. I'm like, what is this? My internet going out?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my, I took everything I had not to like text you and just say like, you know what? And I was like, I'm not gonna let him ruin my Zen. I'm going and I'm going and I'm going. But I liked it.
You gotta listen, you gotta keep it interesting, where it's a piece of entertainment that we're working on here. Speaking of, I gotta ask you right off the bat.
Okay.
Do you believe in palm reading? Do you believe in fortune telling? Do you believe in crystal balls? Do you believe in, crossing over with John Edwards? Like I can speak to the dead. I'm getting an H. Does anyone have an H relative? Like all of that stuff.
Yeah. No, but I will give a caveat. I know that other people believe that. And so I would never say like disrespect them, because there are people who actually really, really believe that. And so it's like, who am I to say it's not true? But for me personally, I don't. But
I will. I'll say it.
Okay.
I'll disrespect them.
But I also, I got a couple of other things. I am weirdly superstitious, and I don't, not like totally, but just like I won't walk under a ladder. Mm-hmm. I do knock on wood, and I don't even realize I'm doing it. Like, I think it's just a growing up thing. I think my dad was probably superstitious. Mm-hmm. And like we've talked in the past about like back in the day, people from New York didn't even want to say cancer. Like you couldn't even talk about it. It's that kind of weird.
In some cultures, it was a cultural thing. I don't know if it was a regional thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's well, so there is that, but it's not anything real or tangible. It's just kind of like, I know that it's not real, but I still do it anyway.
Yeah.
The other thing is that my mom was duped by a palm reader. So for me, I really, even if I didn't feel that way as an adult, I remember as a child seeing it happen and feeling like, this is really wrong. Like I got that on a really basic level. And so it's a complicated thing for me, but I do think that I still respect people's opinions and beliefs to be able to think that way.
Why? I have too great a respect for the evolution of the human brain than to say I respect someone's ridiculous beliefs that they can, tell the future. Okay. Because I apply just a little bit of logic to it, right? If a woman or a man actually had the ability to accurately predict the future, or can prove that they are having discussions with a dead person, okay, that means one, with the dead person discussion, all right, that they've answered a question that has plagued humanity since we could have coherent thought, which is what happens when we die. It proves the existence of an afterlife. That person wouldn't be in a shitty storefront on a dirty boulevard in Seattle. That person would be having audiences with world leaders and with the Pope, and it would lead the fucking news every night forever. Okay. And then if someone is able to predict the future accurately, again, you don't think that would be like the news story of the century? Of course it would. It's a bunch of bullshit.
I just look at it from a totally different perspective. I look at it from the perspective that people believe it. and that the power of it, and how like, wow, we feel like we've evolved, and we really haven't, that people still believe. I mean, I was just talking to someone and they were talking about how they believe in elves. I mean, it was a totally random conversation. And I was like, what? And I didn't say that though. Inside, I was like, I was listening to him and I was like, oh, okay. Asking a couple more clarifying questions. But it was like in his mind, I could tell he really believed it. And he was trusting me that he told me that he believed in this. And so for me, it's kind of like, he's not hurting anybody. He has this belief. Who am I to say you can't believe that way? So
you're a logically, rationally thinking human that needs to let people know that people who hang on to belief structures like that are holding the rest of us back. Okay. That's because that's the truth.
But people like that are going to believe that no matter what. You're not going to be able to convince them.
I could shame them into it, I think. Yes.
I just think that it's like I've been around the block enough times. Like when
so have I. I know.
20 years old, 19 years old. I loved schooling people, shredding guys down to the core, like going to parties and just completely like, and I look at myself back then, it was like insecurity and like, why now I know, like, I don't have to, if they want to believe this, believe it. Nothing I say is going to change that belief structure in a 20-minute conversation over cocktails. It's just going to be lead to like fighting.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah, you like that.
There was a girl years ago. It's always a girl with me, who gorgeous, a little older than me, right? Like super out of my league, but I kind of like hung around and, because we were like, our friend circles kind of overlapped. Right. And
you were striving.
Right. And the only time I could get her attention was when I would like let her tell me about the fairies that lived in the garden in her front yard when we were wasted. And it was like 4 a.m, right? And, crazy party was like winding down. And she would like confide in me, there are fairies that live in the flower garden. I'm like, oh, really? Cool. I'll listen to you say anything because I was so infatuated with her, right? And that's what, and that was the first time that I was like, after like 10 minutes, I went, she really fucking believes this. She's not like some weirdo, who's drunk and high on stuff. She like actually thinks that fairies live here, and she's drunk enough to tell someone about it.
I know. And there's a lot of people who believe it who aren't drunk and still tell people. And you cannot, I mean, I'm not kidding you. Just the other day, this guy was telling me this and he totally believed. I mean, I almost like, I need to record this so I can share this with someone because it was just the most bizarre conversation. And it's like, there's things that we can't explain. Like a mother who's able to lift up her car to save her baby. That was something I heard like in the 80s.
Yeah. And I don't know whether or not that's true. Okay. I don't know what I don't know what the circumstances are that were surrounding that supposed, superhuman feat of strength. Okay. But that's different than like a friend of mine who's convinced and gives this person money because they can communicate with the dead. Because she goes, she told me about a brooch in the back of my grandmother's top drawer in her hope chest. I went, okay. What fucking boomer doesn't have a brooch in the top drawer of her fucking hope chest?
I know, but you know what? People want to have some kind of, like, if it gives them peace of mind.
Yes. Okay.
Why not let them have that?
I agree. And I'm a student of Carl Sagan's teachings where he says, I would rather the harsh truth than a reassuring fable. Okay.
I love Carl Sagan. I took an entire quarter.
Me too.
In college and like saved those DVDs like for my firstborn. Like I love Carl Sagan. I just want to know
what's true. And he was a much classier guy than me. I admit it. Okay. And he wouldn't get into these low debates with a drunk girl about fairies in her garden. Right. He would wait, and he would
apparently neither would you, because you were hoping to get laid. So
that's true. Yeah. Fair point.
But get your high horse down just a little bit.
So Sagan waits till he gets a national audience, and he's very eloquent and he's very respectful in his stuff.
See him with that comb over right here.
Yeah, of course. The guy was a stud. He was a stud, you know. And so that I think he had it right on everything. Like I don't find myself disagreeing with anything he ever said, except with how he was very he wasn't very confrontational with dissenting opinions, right? He was like catch more flies with honey than with vinegar kind of guy. And that's just not my style. But I strive to be a little bit more like him. And like my wife is very accepting of other dissenting opinions and stuff. And I'm not. I have my bullshit meter just fucking goes off, and I want to say, what are you, fucking moron? Like that's where I retreat to, unfortunately. And I'm trying to be better. But let's talk about this fucking gypsy scam woman. Let's go. Let's get into it.
Yeah. You go, because apparently it's hereditary.
Yeah, all cards on the table. I have
wait a second, let me pick my card. What card am I gonna get?
I have Romani ancestry going back like 4 or 5 generations. My two greats, my great grandfather was half Romani gypsy. He wasn't a law abiding dude. His name was Mitro Tokanic, and the last known address before he got on the boat out of France was in Austria, and apparently he walked across Europe, grifting, I'm sure, the whole way. Okay, and then got on the boat, came to the U.S. and started over. And so that is on my dad's side. And it was, discovered like 5 or 6 years ago, roughly around the same time that I found out. I have one of my best friends in the world is this kid, Kevin Van Dorsler from Belgium. And he is a 9th generation carny. Yeah, like legit carnies, like going all the way back to like when the carnival went from town to town in like horses and buggies, and would like set up, and they each have.
How did he find this out? Is it just through like a not DNA, but
oh no, I mean it's all written. It's all written. It's all like the history of his family is written going back before World War One, right?
So they had this before it became popular to have it, before they were tracking his ancestry like a long time ago.
Think of it like in Snatch, like the Pikeys in Snatch, right? How they were like a culture to themselves, right? The gypsies, like in England, in the UK, but in the carnival culture, it's hereditary, right? It's like that's what you do. That's it. Yeah. You live in a fucking Airstream, okay, and you go from town to town around in the Netherlands, right? And that's what you do, and his thing now is like, for a while, like his grandfather had the carousel, which was like a big deal, but then there was like some scandal and he got like demoted to like the fucking coin toss or whatever bullshit, right? And Kevin's thing is it's the little pellet gun, and there's iPhones hanging from these strings, right? And you just got to sit there and try and shoot the string out. And if you break the string, you get the thing, right? But then he made a big stink in the carnival when he left, because he wanted to be an actor. That's how I met him. He came to LA, and that's where we became friends. And he was like disgraced his family and all that shit, and because he wanted something different. And he was this magnificent actor, this stage guy, and he got all these touring shows, and he was great. But then he couldn't resist the call, and he went back and married another carny, and they have little carnival kids, and that's what he's doing, and he's super happy. But he was the one who he told him, and this is coming from him, it's not from me. He would tell me that in terms of like the class structure in like say in Brussels or in Ghent or in any of these big cities there in Holland, in Belgium, that the carnies are considered to be like lower class in terms of acceptable in like society, right? They're like looked down on. He says the only class that they look down on are the gypsy class. And so it's kind of universal with regard to the criminal element of the Romani culture that they're shunned and that they're looked upon as, at the same time, as untrustworthy, except when it comes to elements of the mystical or the unknown. Then for some reason, they're granted a lot of respect. Like someone walking by a storefront with me, like, hey, I'll read your palm. Come on, give me $20. No one's going to care. But you go to the Romani woman with like the headband and the fucking beads and the flowing multicolored dresses. They're like, oh, she knows shit. She knows shit. Right. And so they'll pay up. Yeah.
And I think that's what Lady Monica clearly, I don't know if she was wearing the garb that you just described, but she was able to pull in people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's fascinating to me, is that she did it more than once.
Yeah. Well, and they have shills too. It's really, if you get into it, it's really a criminal enterprise. Okay. They have 100% have shills. A buddy of mine from Jersey was living out in LA for a while, and he started dating this woman. And she got duped by a palm reader. Okay. And she totally bought into it. And she happened to have a husband who was this huge lawyer and was threatening this woman. And the woman cut a deal with her and said, all right, listen, you don't owe me the money that you owe me, but I need you to tell people how accurate I was with all of your readings, and I'll cut you in. And she was like, fuck yeah. Okay. And so she was just
supposed to tell.
What? All of her friends at like parties and stuff. Right. She's like, oh my gosh, this woman was right about everything. She was right about my love life. She was right that I was going to lose weight. She was right that I should take this job. She was right that blah, blah, blah. People are like, oh, fuck, really? Okay, I'm going to go see her. And so they have shills like fucking ever, because word of mouth is the best endorsement that you can get for something like that. You know, unless you're Dionne Warwick with the fucking Psychic Friends Network.
Oh my gosh. Right? I just watched that documentary with her, with Dionne Warwick. You probably don't even know that.
It's on CNN, right?
It's on HBO.
HBO, yeah.
I mean, she actually, it was kind of sad because, you know, she had such a huge historic career. And then I was like, oh, right, this is what happened in the 80s. Why did she do this?
Yep.
Right? I was like, why did she do this? And it was so fun going through her career and watching her get her due. And then like, oh, right. And then she was putting Snoop Dogg back in his place with his crew. And like I mean, I just freaking love Snoop Dogg. I literally just watched that. My husband walked in and he's like, see ya.
Snoop Dogg's fucking great. Has he ever been anything but Snoop Dogg? Like just authentic to the bone. Couldn't give a shit. Yeah.
I actually interviewed him, and just very briefly, it was at like a pot shop that came to my area.
Yeah.
And I was writing for the Huffington Post, and I just got in, and it was so freaking cool because we were standing there, and when you meet, I haven't met tons of celebrities, but like, you just don't know, you don't know what to expect. Like they could be total assholes.
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg walked in, and there was like two other women who were with different organizations. And we were all like 1, 2, 3, we're in a line. He comes in and he just walks right over to us, puts his arms around all of us. And he's like, whatever, And we're just like, yeah. And it was just like so natural and not creepy in any possible way. It was like,
he brings the party.
He brings the party, but he also had this, he's in the mother house, the woman house of like not being creepy and just being totally like, you can tell he just loves women, not just loving them just to love them physically, but also just respecting them and it shines through. And it was like amazing. It was so cool. It was like one of the funnest 10-minute interviews I've ever done.
I love Snoop. Oh, we got to talk about this case a little bit.
Okay.
So my first note that I have here, so the woman that you start off with is kind of a red herring. It's not who really the show is about. What was her name?
Sylvia Sutton.
Sylvia Sutton. Okay, so Sylvia was the first one to go to this woman. Well, not the first one, but in the episode.
Sylvia was the one that kind of was the through line. She's the one that hooked up all these people.
Right.
And had she not been bilked out for, $1
million plus
1.5 or $1.3 million, like she connected them to Patrick Fleming.
Right.
She like all that stuff. And then Gilda, the
assistant, whatever. Yeah.
She just like her life story was exactly like Sylvia's, except for, look what happened. She totally ended up being, being a part of this. And it's just crazy the power that this woman had over them.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Shh. Hear that? Big waves are calling. Dive into refreshment with Kona Big Wave. Tropical flavor and the taste of aloha in every drop. This summer, don't just listen. Join Kona on the Big Wave Bonfire Tour. More information at konabigwave.com/bigwavemusic. Kona Big Wave. Liquid Aloha. Copyright 2025 Kona Brewing Co., St. Louis, Missouri. Mahalo for enjoying responsibly.
So good, so good, so good.
Ready to rack to school and save big? Get to your Nordstrom Rack store today for thousands of deals from just $20.
Because I want to look fresh.
How did I not know Rack has Adidas?
I got a new backpack.
Score everyone's favorite denim, sneakers, boots, and activewear from Nike, Levi's, Steve Madden, Madewell, and Free People. Great brands, great prices. Everyone's got a reason to rack. Shop Nordstrom Rack and make it the best school year ever.
Right. So Charles was the cab driver, right?
He was the cab driver. Yeah.
That was in love with her, was in love with Brenda.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And would do whatever. And Cloyd had some wonderful ways of describing him. Right. Just a dipshit.
I had to take a bunch of them out.
Kind of a loser, right? Not the sharpest bulb on the porch. I like that one. Okay. But I found Gilda kind of interesting. Is it like a little bit like Stockholm syndrome-y a little bit? Because he mentioned the other famous version of it,
Patty
Hearst, the Hearst version of it. Yeah. So she kind of really became a disciple, I guess, of Brenda's, and so there was this creepy little like threesome of a crime triangle with Brenda at the tip of the spear, and then she had her little henchman with Charles and with Gilda. And so the more I hear about the late Mr. Fleming, the more it saddens me. Just because, he reminds me of my dad. My dad, fought in Vietnam, and this guy was just, and I'm so glad that my dad lives in our guest house now. So because when he said later on that people were coming from somewhere to victimize the people in this old folks home, like that's legit, and that's fucked up. Okay.
Oh, and it totally is. Yeah.
It really is, because these people are sometimes desperate. They're lonely for a friend. Right. And they can get duped into stuff. But this guy with his coin collection, man, listen, I'm a nerd. I was a numismatist for a while. I have a fucking badass coin collection. Right. And I used to be really proud of it. I would show people. My wife would get all embarrassed. Right. Like no one even asked, but I would work it into conversations. Right. I'd drop something. I'm like, oh, is that a new Virginia quarter? Hold on a second. I admit it. I totally admit it. Right. So I would just picture this guy proud of his stuff, and like war hero and Purple Hearts and shit. And he didn't fucking deserve this. But then it gets to, he had a girlfriend in the building, but he was still married.
I know. I took out the part where Cloyd was like, he was a bit of a player. Because I was like, I was trying to understand it. I was trying to understand kind of like, well, wait a second. I thought he had a wife, but then he's got this girlfriend. And she was like 80 years old. And apparently Cloyd was saying, yeah. And he had, she thought he was going to propose to her. Wow. So it was like, he was like kind of, he was having fun with his coin collection. And I mean, the relationship that he had with his wife, it sounds like, they just, with the PTSD, they just couldn't live together. So, I mean, he's doing his thing. And I too felt like when the wife said, why don't you put these in a vault or something at the bank? And it's like, of course he's not going to want to do that because he wants to show people. He's
proud of it.
Bring them into his home and like display them,
and and show who he is and what he's interested in, and and it's probably a way to like work his medals in there a little bit. Like, here's some coins. Here are my 2 purple hearts. Here's a bronze star. Like, oh, he's proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely
proud of it.
As well, he should be.
Of course.
And that Brenda is sitting there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's adding up. She's dollar signs. Yeah.
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 I didn't pick up on that, but maybe it was like her high-pitched voice and she was
so are we going to call her Brenda or Lady Monica?
Well, you want to do Lady Monica?
Yeah, because I just want people to understand, because I just want to make sure. Lady Monica was her stage name. Brenda's her real name.
Brenda's her real name. Yeah.
Brenda's her real name. Okay. What was disturbing, I guess is the word to think about, was what you described as a blitz attack. Okay. Yeah. When they knock on the door, it's like home invasion.
Yeah.
And they just came out fucking all stabby, like right away.
Absolutely. Right? I know. And the weird costumes, like what was that about?
It's such a gypsy thing. Like, you look totally normal. No, because to Lady Monica, I imagined these 3 people who all were dressed like Lady Monica because it was her idea. Okay, so she probably picked out the costumes, right?
And they did whatever she said.
And they did what she said.
It reminded me.
We're going to bring kitchen knives.
Yeah, remember the episode with the terror at the farmhouse?
Yeah.
Where these people could have walked away, and yet there were no chains binding them.
Yeah.
To that house, and the mind control, the coercive control that she could get these people to commit this crime. And then at the, Cloyd said, and of course, after they left, she got all the money.
I mean, they didn't get any of it.
They didn't get any of it.
Yep, they didn't get any of it. Interesting that I thought I'd hoped that you'd hung more of a lantern on in this one was how close the girlfriend was to being a victim. Because if she'd been there, they would have killed her too. They didn't give a shit. And she was there just like a few minutes before they all got there, because she came back to get her orange juice. Okay.
Right.
That's like that's got to be scary for her, because it wasn't long after she left that this attack happened, so that would, I don't know.
It's a really great question. It's like, she was so obsessed with those coins. Was she waiting for the woman to leave? I mean, because they did wait.
It doesn't sound like it, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, what would she have been? I mean, it seems totally bizarre to me because she got over $1 million twice and not killing anyone. And for only 60,000, and that's retail. And then you're pawning it. So 30,000. Yeah. And it's like, what? It just doesn't. Any mark.
But it's, and the next thing that made me sad was when Mr. Fleming said that he's why he didn't have his coins locked up somewhere. He said that he would snap and he's willing to fight for them. Ugh.
And he did.
Fuck. He did. And that the building wasn't really secured, so any of these predators could come in there and just knock on an old person's door. That makes me scared for the elderly community, which we're about to have the largest elderly community in the history of our country, as the baby boomers are there now. So this is that's gonna be a big problem for scam artists.
And they have a lot of resources.
Tons of resources. Fuck. I wanted you also to freak out about, maybe get a picture of a cigarette butt again, because I know how you freaked out last time. And when the cigarette butt comes up, you're like, "Oh my God, I want to see the picture." But
I was so impressed with the restraint that they were able to sit out there and, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I was.
This guy Cloyd is no slouch. He was like, first of all, he says whatever the fuck he wants. Good for him. Okay. And he knows how to do his job. you know, and he's, you know, when you say like, you don't rush, he goes, no, inexperienced people would, right? Like those dicks might rush into it and fuck everything up. Not this guy. I take my time and I fucking do it right. And I get who I'm after. Right. That's awesome. Good for you.
You know what I thought was going to get you going is the weakest link and then exploiting that. I mean, I think I felt like the secret sauce, like he was letting us get like opening the crypt. It's like, yeah.
I have it on my list that Charles just folded up. He just gave everything up like in a second. Right. First, he was just talking and they let him go. Right. They let him go. And I'm yelling at the computer. I'm going, the cheek swab. He's the guy. There was one way that this was edited where it makes Cloyd look a little dumb and he's not. Right. Because it's like, well, here's this guy. He obviously knows Brenda, you know, Lady Monica, and he knows Gilda and all that. But we couldn't know who the third blood set, who's the person, who's the guy. I'm like, it's Charles. It's the dipshit.
But here's the thing. I totally love that about him because he didn't like hide behind it. Like he was like, yeah, I thought there's no way this guy could do it. Even with all my experience, like no way. And he's still saying that all these years later. He's like, I let him go. But he did the due diligence by doing the cheek swab just to be sure.
Right. And then it's a match. Okay.
Right.
And he's like, holy shit, this fucking guy.
Right.
I got to go get him.
But it just goes to show how you have a seasoned detective with like 30, I think at this point in his career, over 30 years as a detective. And he still doesn't get it right every time. You know, when you read people and he read this guy wrong and he's the first one to say, I effed up.
And then when you asked him about like, you know, what this guy's deal was. And he goes, he's just stupid. I went, wow. Yeah. Okay. It's fucking super honest. Right.
You know what I thought was like, when he's like, what, were you in love with her? And then the guy's like, I think so. And he's like, oh my God.
I have feelings for her. I have feelings for her. He goes, okay, well, listen, you're going to go down for all of it. He goes, all right, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to tell you? Yeah. I got super stabby on this old guy for his coins because the girl I like wanted his stuff. Wow.
I mean, he's not wrong. Cloyd isn't wrong.
No, not at all.
Like, why? But again, it's that coercive control. Like she knew how to play people. And like, if they sat at a restaurant together, he had to sit at a different seat. You know, they couldn't, I mean, it seems like there's this like
such a power trip. Yeah.
Totally. Like weird going on.
And you had a great question that I hadn't thought of when you asked, it wasn't her MO to murder, right? Like did you not expect that of her? Like it wasn't, did she have other murders in the past, do you think? Whatever. And he was like, no, you know, it just got to a point where she was desperate. She'd had over $2 million in scams in the recent past. And all of that shit about paying for mother-in-law's doctor bills bullshit. No, she was going to Vegas and buying like bling bags and shit for her, right? She wasn't like.
Can you imagine blowing $1.5 million in like a year? I mean,
Vegas.
And you're sleeping on a mat on the floor in upstairs in your palm reading business, and you're going. I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's like. $1.5 million is a lot of money.
It's a ton of money. It's a ton of money. I could retire on that probably. You know,
I mean, it's a lot of money. Yeah.
I know. And gone. Yeah. And then kill a guy over what wound up being 30 grand. Yeah.
Doesn't.
Yeah. I know. I've got to. This is a funny note. Then I really don't need to hear Cloyd affecting a female Latina accent anymore in my life. But then what was, just disturbing when he says, people don't realize how hard it is to stab somebody.
I know, right?
Ugh,
And that's how you know that it's a confession that is real, that he's like, we kept trying.
Couldn't get the knife into the neck. Had to go over and over again. And he's like, that's how it is in real life. And you're like, but it's not like that in the movies. It just seems they just stab in the movies. And he's like, that's not how it is.
One more time, what was I like?
In the movies, it just seems so easy to stab somebody. But yeah, I guess if you think about it, it would probably be a little bit more difficult. And then
well, and again, how sharp are the knives that you're getting at Goodwill? I mean, it's not like
how sharp as anything you're getting at Goodwill. But and then I think my favorite part of the episode was kind of glossed over relatively quickly. I love when stupid criminals get themselves caught and they don't realize it, right? Where she was mad that he wasn't stabbing enough, so Brenda cut him. Brenda cut fucking Charles, right? and his blood trail led to their demise, led to them getting captured.
She probably treated him like a dog. And is it any surprise that she would cut him to just cut him down to size?
Right. Like, you're not stabbing enough. Take that, dickhead. Stab him more. And there's more where that came from. Yeah.
The ultimate irony is that, as Cloyd said, it's what did both of them in.
That's what did them in. That's my favorite. That's my favorite part of that. I love that part. And then it took an interesting turn. The episode took an interesting turn with, I think, was the finest vocal recording that I've heard in years, with this wonderfully voiced man.
I know,
it's incredible. I just want to listen to him talk about stuff. He's quoting F. Scott Fitzgerald. I'm like, who is this fucking guy? I love this guy.
He's actually a writer. He's like written like 4 books and was like, yeah, he's the real.
Or his books on tape, because I'll listen to them.
I don't know. He does have a great voice.
And he was really, really interesting with his kind of analytical mind, and how he was very clear by saying that it's not cultural or racial. Generational crime is specific to families, right? It's something within a family structure that is just a repeated kind of thing, right? Like crime is just dyed in the wool in some families. And I like that he said that it's not out of the ordinary for a prosecutor to get threatened by someone who's going to jail, but it's the only time that a curse was laid upon a deputy prosecutor by Lady Monica. Yeah.
I mean, I think that he wasn't saying it specific to Lady Monica, but it was with a family, of Roma.
Oh, sorry. A gypsy family.
And he, like, I loved what he said about the power that you give, like the person that they laid this curse on didn't believe in it. So it had no power.
Of course.
If you give it the power, that's when it becomes a problem.
Psychosomatic. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where, palm reading could be fun. It could be like, totally just a fun thing to do. And, well, let's go have fun doing this at a fair. But if you really believe, and someone says, if someone says you have great aura, that could be really scary if you really believed, and they said it in a way that, you believed it. And she was really persuasive.
There's a bar on the corner of Laurel Canyon and Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. Okay. And Caddy Corner across the street is this like little strip mall. And I was there, I was maybe 20, 21 years old. And there was a fortune teller set up there, a guy, not gypsy at all. He looked like your fucking accountant. He had like a mustache, right? He was wearing like a polo shirt. He had a little card table. Okay. But his rep was that he was like legit, and that apparently the day that John Lennon died, he told Yoko Ono that John's going on a trip. Okay. And so that made him like, everyone's like, he knows shit, whatever. Right. Turned out he didn't know shit. And it was all, he was full of it. But that was my first time where I kind of, because again, I was with a girl and she was like, I bet this guy's real and let's go. I'm like, I'm not giving him fucking $40 that I don't have. Okay. So he could tell your fortune for like, and not have Like, he didn't have an act.
You gave the $40.
No, I didn't. He didn't have an act. That's why I didn't believe it. Like, meaning like he didn't have a crystal ball. He didn't have tarot cards. He didn't do a palm read. He would just sit there and like look at you and ask you a couple of questions. And I was with it enough to understand that the questions that he asked were like a carnival trick. Okay. Like the vanishing negative that he would ask, like say things like, do you not believe in whatever? Like, how do you answer that? Anything positive or negative could be manipulated as agreeing with him, right? Saying, do you not this, do you not that, right? So all of these little kind of carnival tricks, because he was like performing, it was like performance art for this guy. Like people were waiting in line and you could sit there and listen to him. So anyway, I
have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you fall for? Is there something, I mean, other than it sounds like, is there something that you've ever fallen for?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You said Ayn Rand.
Oh, sure. Well,
I mean, it's not like you're immune to this. You're just immune to this specific thing. But
I lost $100 playing 3-card Monte in Chinatown when I was 15. Okay, so that happens. Okay. I was sold a fake pair of Jordan 1s like in my 30s. Okay. So I fell for that. What else?
But I'm talking about changing your belief system with something when you get in, because see, these people don't work on you because you don't believe in it and you think it's a scam. But there are things where it's like they're speaking your language and you fall for whatever it is. Is there anything that you have?
No, but I have a hard time when people say, I have a hard time saying I don't believe in it, right? Because then someone would then say, well, then what do you believe in? Okay. And there isn't a foil for not believing in pseudoscience. Doesn't have to be buttressed by a belief in something else. Okay. Because someone would say, oh, you don't believe in this, but you believe in science that requires faith too. I'm like, no, I don't believe in science. I've been exposed to science. Right. Mm-hmm. And I see that it's valid. Okay. Like I see that. So because of, the scientific method and double blind testing and like all of that stuff that I don't have to get into. Right. The merits of science, but are there things that challenge my belief system? There are things that I've fallen for in the past that I've grown out of.
I just think that this doesn't appeal to you, but it's a human kind of nature thing when there's a really charismatic person and they can change your viewpoint. We've seen it happen time and time and time again. You would never fall for this thing, just like Patrick Fleming would never have done it. And that's why she knew she wasn't even going to try. She knew that he would never fall for this. Right. So I just think that for me, the interesting part is that, how we can be duped into something. I mean, this woman was a retired school teacher, had saved $1.5 million. I mean, had a good head on her shoulders.
She was vulnerable. She was mourning the loss of someone. So I'm not saying that I'm immune to this. I haven't been in that desperate of a situation emotionally. I haven't. So who knows? Who knows? Yeah. And that's what that's the absurd kind of lack of empathy and lack of humanity in these people, is that's who they go after.
Exactly.
Right? They go after the weakest among us at their weakest moments.
I know. And that's what's so insidious about it. That's why I wanted to end the show with that, like Cloyd's words, like, hey, it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. Just if you find yourself in a vulnerable situation, just be careful who you share your heart with. Be
careful who you share your financial information with.
Well, yeah.
That's
that too.
That's the fucking thing.
But it starts with the heart. It starts with the heart.
It does. It starts with understanding. Like, I know what you're going through, but here's what all of these victims, it's not understanding that gets them victimized. Okay. Understanding lets the predator get close to them. And I have a solution is what makes them victimized.
Right. Yes. It's like the cult formula. Yep. It's like, let me, break you down, but I'm going to fix it.
I can fix it.
I can fix it.
Not only do I know what you're going through, empathy, but I can fix it. Solution. Fuck yeah. Sign me up. Right. Like that's the formula. Let's start a cult, me and you. Okay.
Man,
we just figured it out. We cracked it.
I know. We would be pretty scary. I could just picture it. Jesus. Oh.
I think that would be great. Well, my last thing is I have wait a minute, generational crime. Oh, the numbers that 16% of Americans believe in curses, and all the percentages of other shit, that makes me really, really scared. And it reminded me of the great Aaron Sorkin show, Newsroom. I don't know if you watched it.
Oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah. So that opening monologue, that opened the whole show, like why America isn't great, when he says, we're 5th in this, and we're 19th in this, and we're 30th in this, and da-da-da-da. And he says, America leads the world in only 3 categories. Do you remember what the 3 categories were?
No, I don't.
It's incarcerated adults per capita, percentage
porn,
the percentage of people who think that angels are real, and defense spending.
Oh my gosh.
Those are the only 3 things. And so that middle one, people who think angels are real, that's in a line with what we're talking about here, right? The people that believe in curses, the people that believe that there are certain people who have the gift of being mediums, that they can talk to people on the other side. Fucking bullshit, right? Or palm reading or fortune telling, or it's all the same. I can read your aura. What are we, fucking 5 years old? I mean, come on. Oh, you're a fortune teller? Okay, I'm a helicopter. I can play the game too.
People believe it, Branden.
I know.
I mean, I don't know why you're surprised by this.
I'm surprised by it because we all have the same brain.
But we don't. We have so many different experiences.
But we all have the ability to reason. That's what we all have, the ability to reason. What is more likely? Okay. That there are only certain people that can communicate with the dead, and that when they do, for some reason, dead grandma likes to speak in fucking riddles. Okay?
But it's a cultural thing. It's like your carny friend. Like, he was out, and then he's like, hey, I want to go back, and I'm happy. And who are we to say that's not the right choice for him?
But that's different than passing down generation to generation that paranormal shit is legit. That's different.
I mean, that's like a whole nother.
Because that holds us back as a species. That holds us back.
But it's not going to change.
I think it will. I bet these percentages were a lot more 100 years ago. I bet it was a hell of a lot more than 16% of people who believed in curses 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's bad. The percentage of Americans who are atheists has been growing every year.
I mean, you have to understand, like, human nature. It's like there's reasons why they want to manipulate people. Look at the Salem witch trial.
Fear of the unknown.
Burn women because they were like, hey, I want to be my own person.
Exactly.
Oh, the witch, let's torture up. Hey, I want to like do herbal medicine. I mean, it's just like, there's more here than just people like having intelligence. It's manipulation. And
a lot of it is fear.
Having their own agendas.
Yes, a lot of it is fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of death is what religion is all about. Okay. Fear. Okay. Fear that the future isn't going to be what I want it to be. So I'm going to pay someone money who's going to tell me what I want to hear. Okay. That's fortune telling. Okay. Or palm reading or or tarot cards or all of that shit. And, and we'll do the ultimate game. Like, we'll give you some bad things that are going to happen, but if you do this, it'll get better. But I'm the one who will tell you what to do to avoid this terrible fate. So keep paying me. It's all a scam.
I know, but some people want to be told what to do.
Yeah, sure. 100%.
They want 100%. To have somebody who's like a guiding, a matriarch, patriarch, telling them this is what's going to help you. It's like a mentor that, is like, I have the way.
Of course people want it, which is why in Los Angeles, I can drive 6 blocks in every direction and find 4 Lady Monicas in 10 minutes. In fucking 10 minutes.
I know. And that's why I wanted to say that.
Yep.
Like, leaving with the stats, because there's a lot of people that, this is a part of their life. And, you don't get caught up with, you can have the guy with the polo shirt and the tent, but
Right.
You know?
All right, last thing. What do you think of my
Okay.
haircut? First haircut in 2 years. What do you think?
I think I'm so like not used to the non-baseball cap backwards.
Yep.
I
cut the beard off and the hair's gone.
How do you feel about it?
I feel great because my wife likes me again.
I think it looks great.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I mean, it's like the college, like frat kind of like off campus.
I'm going to be 50 next week. What are you talking about, college?
I'm saying your vibe that you were like working before.
Oh, gotcha. Like hacky sack in the quad kind of guy.
Yeah. With your baseball cap backwards and your sweatshirt. Yeah, that's what you were going for.
And the big beard and the long
now
hair.
You look like an adult. Like
look like I'm grown up
college
now, right?
professor. Yeah.
I'm grown up. That's what I'm going for.
There you go. So you're happy with it?
I am. I'm happy with it. Primarily because my wife, was cuddling with me again in bed, which is nice.
You know what? That's worth $1 million. So.
Absolutely. It absolutely is.
My husband just wore a purple shirt that I got for him, and he's like, saw it and was like, no way. I'm like, it's spring. It's not really spring, but
it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold.
He put it on.
Well, thank you again for the rousing conversation about, the mysteries of the beyond and the paranormal and the scams of tarot card readers and fortune tellers. That was a fun episode. I mean, listen, I couched that in saying that there was a really wonderful man and American war hero was senselessly murdered over fucking coins. And that just fucking burns my ass. And I'm so glad that the people responsible are rotting in jail. But at the same time, we were able to kind of investigate, at least in my kind of caveman kind of way, the kind of trickery and the scamming nature of the gypsy culture, the criminal class of the proud Romani ethnicity, I should say, that just really, really bothers me that people still fall for it. But like you said, there's always going to be marks out there, and as long as there's marks, there's going to be people trying to take them down.
Yeah. Well said.
What can you do? So what do we got coming up?
I've got a couple of things in the hopper, and you'll just have to wait and see.
As always, please consider supporting the great companies that support our show. And Carolyn, again, it was great spending time with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Branden. And thank you. And what about rating, subscribing, a review?
Please.
That would be awesome.
Please, that would be great. If you're enjoying the show, take a couple of seconds and go to Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star, maybe review. Tell me what I got wrong, because I'm sure there was a lot of it. And we look forward to catching up with everybody next week. Thank you. Have a good week, Carolyn.